Hare Om Namaste. Okay, so now you've taken the Dosha survey, and now you know what we call your constitution. Your constitution is your unique makeup of the doshas. Your combination of the panchatattvas, how they arrange within you specifically. So there's this beautiful thing about Ayurveda, and that shows there are as many different kinds of normals as there are people on this planet. That means you're normal. Isn't that fun? Now, the beautiful thing is we each have our own normal. And we also have that normal when it's imbalanced, like in balance, and when it's not in balance, right? Now, when you are balanced, we call that Prakriti. Your Prakriti is you with all your beautiful arrangements, your constitution in perfect harmony with one another. In that moment, you're not really aware of the doshas or the 5 elements because they're in perfect harmony with each other. And when they're in perfect harmony, we typically don't even notice them. It's when they become out of balance, is when we notice the 5 elements or your doshas at play. Now, Ayurveda makes it very simple, so that's your Prakriti. Now, when you're out of balance, we call that Vikruti. Vikruti is when your natural elements are out of balance. Prakriti is when you are in balance. There we go. Now, Ayurveda makes this very simple. How do you know when you are and when you're not in balance? Ayurveda simplifies and says, well, you're out of balance when you have an excess or a depletion, a deficiency of your natural constitution. So if you have a lot of air in your body, right, you have the wind element, and you have excessive wind, you're going to notice you're going to have imbalances of the wind element. So that's an excess of that element that makes up you. Now, of course, what might be excess for you and excess for your partner or your children or a friend is going to be completely different because they're each their own kind of normal. So, makes it very simple. An excess or depletion. Now, if you have a lot of air element, right, but you still have earth, you might have a depletion of earth while you have an excess of the air element. So this is how you can begin to fill out what is balanced for you. And you know that what's out of balance, you're going to notice that. See, dosha itself means that which is quick to go out of balance. What is quick to go out of balance? And that's quite simply like when you have a guitar and it's in perfect harmony, you don't notice all the different strings when someone's strumming the guitar. But when a string is out of tune, then you know, you can hear it. You're like, ooh, that's so good. When you're looking at your room, you might see like, ooh, there's an imbalance. I need to pick this up. You might not even really notice the room if everything's in perfect harmony. So dosha itself just simply means that which is quick to go out of balance. So if you have a lot of air or a lot of fire, you're going to notice more of those elements which are going to present themselves because they're more typically ready to go out of balance because you already have a ton of it. And so what we're trying to do to bring balance is we want to increase the opposite side of those elements. So if you have a lot of air, we want to increase the earth. If you have a lot of earth, we want to increase the air. Right? If you have a lot of cold earth, right, we want to increase the fire because fire creates illumination, it creates movement, it creates transformation. Right? But if you have too much fire, what are you going to want to do? Do you want to add air to it? You want to add more cooling elements to it. You want to increase the kapha. You want to increase the earth and the water. So these are things to begin to consider as you observe yourself and as you begin to make those conscious choices with how you want to feel. Now remember, in Ayurveda, one simple principle is this. If you know this, you can apply Ayurveda regardless of knowing the doshas or anything else. And that is like increases like. Like increases like. So if you have hot food with spice and you add more spice, it's going to be more spicy. Common sense. If you're feeling fiery and a little rigid and a little sharp, And you say drink coffee. Coffee is sharp, it's fiery, increases the fire and the air element in the body. So you're going to probably increase that sense of agitation and restricted kind of mind. Right? If you are feeling more lethargic and more heavy, a little more dullness of your mind, right? More of that deeper emotion, heavier emotions, right? You want to increase the lightness that's going to take you out of it, so you want to increase the fire element. So here's a very simple way of simplifying this. To practice this one principle of Ayurveda, like increases like. This is what you do. Number one, you pause and you say, how do I feel right now? Number two, you ask, how do I want to feel? You're like, oh. Because if you're feeling kapha, if you're feeling heavy, you might want to feel more motivated. If you're feeling really spacey, a little scattered, not very focused, you may want to feel more grounded, more clear. Right? So, what you want to do is first, how do I feel? How do I want to feel? And then number three, what will increase that lightness? And then what increase that lightness? Like if you're feeling, slow and heavy and sluggish, going for a walk outside, going for a run, getting active, creating energy, creating fire, movement, will help move you out of that state. Or it might be foods. Eat spicy foods or fast. Now if you're feeling very fiery, right, and you want to say what lightness do you want to increase, maybe you want to feel more cool, more balanced, more grounded. So in that case, if you're eating food, you're going to want to eat more like fresh, live vegetables, lightly seasoned, not very oily. You may want to do more of a cooling yoga practice. You may want to go outside and walk in the cool air, or be around some trees that are grounding. You may want to put on music that is more soothing, rather than fiery and agitated. Right? If you're airy, you're feeling space, more of the vata element, you're going to want to maybe feel more grounded. So what kind of foods will ground you? Just food itself will begin to ground the vata body type. But you want something that's going to be moist. You want something that's a little bit heavier. Right? Activities, maybe something slowing down, something you want to focus on. So it's a single task rather than multitasking. Okay? So these are just little ideas. So the main principle is like increases like. And then you want to pause and say, well, how do I feel right now? How do I want to feel? And what will increase that lightness? Recognizing that you have your own prakriti, which is the balance of your natural constitution, of the doshas, the elements. Right? Recognizing imbalances is really just an excess or a deficiency of your natural makeup. So then you apply this very simple principle, like increases like, and boom, you become an Ayurvedic master. So, happy participating, happy explorations, and once again, please email me, text me, message me, whatever it is, ask me your questions, help me tailor this to you specifically. That's why I'm here. Okay? So, utilize me. You're fully supported. Hari Om. Namaste.